Aska, the energetic and strong mother. Yamato, the younger brother who's always in his own little world. Follow us as we karate kick all your daily frustrations away. Asuka's revenge.
I'm Katomi. My husband and I had 3 beautiful kids. We were living with his parents. His brother and sister were living with us as well. So there was 9 of us in total. All right, dinner's almost ready. Go clean up your toys.
Okay!
My father-in-law still worked. My mother-in-law taught flower arrangement at home. I was a housewife, but whenever my mother-in-law was free, I asked her to watch the kids so that I could help my parents with their business.
I got the plates.
I'll grab the glasses.
Thanks. One day, Yuta, my husband, said during dinner,
Man, I wish I was a housewife. You don't have to do anything.
Seriously? Apparently one of his colleagues told him that housewives had it easy.
All you gotta do is watch the kids and do some housework. I can do that with my eyes closed.
I agree.
Then his father started agreeing with him.
Housewives have it easy.
Yeah, they don't have to work at all.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
And these days you can look up any recipe online.
Yeah, but you still gotta think about nutrition and calories.
And you get to take naps all the time, I bet. Ugh, you're so lucky. Who do you think pays for the heating bill?
What? She never takes a nap. You know how hard it is to do housework for 9 people?
Whatever. Housewives have it so easy.
Hey!
I didn't want any trouble, so I said to them, you wanna try it then? I get up at 5 every morning to make breakfast and lunch for everyone. Then I take the twins to kindergarten, make lunch for your mother-in-law and my 2-year-old. Then I go to the grocery store, pick up my kids from kindergarten, and make dinner for 9 after that. You sure you can handle it? To which my husband said,
Easy, but I got work, so...
He tried to talk his way out of it. What about the long weekend next month? That shut him up. His long vacation was coming up. He didn't have to go into work for 2 weeks.
Well, I kinda wanted to relax, but...
He started stuttering, but then his sister said to him,
Huh? But it's easy, right? I'm sure you can handle it.
Then my mother-in-law said to her husband,
Oh, you too. From now on, you're helping me on the weekends.
He didn't see it coming.
You both said it was easy, right? Don't back out now.
My brother-in-law helped me out as well.
Ugh.
They weren't gonna talk their way out of this. All right, gather around. After dinner, I held a meeting. I showed them the household account book and explained to them how I manage the budget for groceries. I gave them a month's worth of grocery money to get them started. Then, the next day, all the cleaning items are here. I showed them around the house and told them where everything was. I told them to take notes because I wasn't going to repeat myself. Okay then, I'm going to be working 8 to 5 from now on. Good luck. There was an opening for a part-time job near the house, so I decided to give it a try. Any questions?
No.
No.
Day 1. I woke up around 6 a.m. My husband was cooking in the kitchen. He wasn't that bad at cooking.
Looks pretty good, right?
He had already made lunch for everyone.
From now on, I'm gonna make lunch for everyone to save money. Why don't you ever cook for my brother? He should eat better.
He said to me,
You're so lazy. My brother deserves better.
Seriously? Your brother... I don't cook for him because his girlfriend makes him lunch. And I used to make him lunch every day before he got a girlfriend. You don't remember? I said to him. And I told you, your brother didn't need lunch. And neither does your mother. She's going out today, so... I told you this yesterday. And you made the same thing for breakfast and lunch. I'm not complaining or anything, but it might get kind of dull. Okay, I'm fine with it, but your dad has high blood pressure, so maybe this is too much salt for him. I said to him. Then, why is this one different?
Huh? Our youngest son is allergic to eggs, right?
What? Is he serious? It's the twins that are allergic to eggs, and they're fine now. I told you this. Our youngest son has no allergies.
Oh,
You don't know anything about your kids. He was speechless after that. After that, he took the kids to school, cleaned the house, and did the laundry. When I got home, my brother-in-law said to me,
I left the house around 10. He started doing the laundry then, but when I got back around noon, he was still doing the laundry.
well, there are 9 people here, so it's a lot. He was struggling a lot. I explained everything to him, but I guess he didn't take notes. Then for dinner, he made us potato salad, fried chicken, and miso soup. But
Ugh, the chicken is still raw. Yeah, and so are these potatoes.
I'll make it again.
I didn't want to make them wait, so I got up and helped him out. He couldn't do anything right. He just sat in silence. The next morning, he made the exact same thing again. For dinner, he just got some pre-made food from the deli. Then, 4 days later, he finally gave up and apologized to me.
I'm sorry. I was wrong. I can't do this anymore.
He was exhausted.
I'm trying to lose weight. No fried food. My shirt is wrinkled, and so are these. Do it again.
Stop complaining.
He snapped at them, but
You said it was easy. You're pathetic. Yeah, and you're the one that's always complaining.
that shut him up. Keeping a nice home is a lot of work. You understand? We had a long talk after that. Don't ever talk to me like that again. Got it? I said to him.
I won't. I promise. I'm sorry.
Good. Well, you still got a few weeks left to go, so good luck. I still gotta go to work, so...
What? Hold on. Wait,
He apologized to me over and over again, begging me to help him out, but I had to go to work. He had no choice but to keep his end of the deal.
Help him!
And my mother-in-law pressured her husband to help out as well. I didn't want my family to get food poisoning, though, so I helped him out with dinner every now and then. And everyone in the family was really supportive. They all helped me out whenever they could.
Daddy, play with us.
And the kids seemed to enjoy having their dad around. Then, on the last day,
I'm truly sorry. I really appreciate what you do for us every day.
I'm sorry too. I take it back.
Glad you guys understand. Kotomi is holding this family together.
Yep, you said it.
Thank you always, Kotomi.
it was really sweet of him to say that.
Okay then.
And so, things went back to normal after that. I love doing housework, and I love my in-laws, so I always did my best to keep this house nice and clean.
Housewives have it easy.
So when my husband said that to me, I couldn't let it go. But when I told my mom about what happened,
You went too far. You shouldn't have gotten their family involved.
whew, she yelled at me. Sorry. Then, at the office,
During the long vacation, I did things around the house for my family and it wasn't easy. Housewives don't have it easy at all. You should stop saying that to people. I'm telling you.
Well, you're kidding me, right?
but his colleague didn't listen to him. Then, when his girlfriend found out about all this, she dumped him. Sucks for him, but oh well.
You still love me?
Well, when you said those things to me, I wasn't so sure, but I'm not mad anymore. And you always work hard to provide for us, so thanks, babe.
Right back at you, Katomi.
It was a rough couple of months, but glad everything worked out.
I'm Fubuki. This is my wife, Arina. We got married 8 months ago, but there was something on my mind.
Eat up.
She loved sugar. She put it on everything she made. And if she didn't use it as a flavor, she sprinkled it on top of everything like salad dressing. And the sugar crystals were really big. Maybe this would taste better without all this sugar.
What? No way! The sugar adds a nice finishing touch.
She loved sweets. She put sugar on everything. And I mean everything. Grilled fish, pasta, you name it. And she always put on so much. I always choked on it. Not really. I choked on the sugar crystals. Maybe you shouldn't put so much sugar on these.
You alright? You should chew more.
She seemed to really enjoy this, though. She's not a bad cook. She just ruins everything with all this sugar. But whenever I tell her not to put on so much sugar in everything, she gets really upset. Look, I don't mind you using sugar as flavor, but can you stop sprinkling them on top?
But I don't want the sugar to melt. That's why I always put them at the end.
She just didn't get it. I always got sick about halfway through the meal. I'm gonna get sick. How is she okay with this? I could barely eat anything at home. Over the past few months, I lost a lot of weight. The only decent meal I could get was at the office. I ate like a pig during lunch. I know it wasn't good for me, but I had no choice.
You've been eating a lot lately.
Yeah. A few weeks ago, I got a health checkup. Luckily, they didn't find anything wrong with me. Probably because I didn't eat much at home. But my wife, she was getting kinda chubby. She eats like a pound of sugar every day. No surprises there. She wasn't like this before we got married, though. I wonder what changed. How do I stop her from eating so much sugar? Then, I came up with an idea. One weekend, I hid the jar of sugar before she started cooking. I better have a talk with her.
Hey, the sugar's gone. Do you know where it is?
No, come on, the food's getting cold. Let's just eat without the sugar. But then...
But...
She kept looking for that jar of sugar. I couldn't take it anymore. I finally snapped. Stop! Just stop, okay? I want to enjoy my meal without all that sugar, please! I raised my voice at her. My wife started crying.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. As long as you get it.
Let's eat before the food gets cold. I'll get more sugar tomorrow. No worries.
What? No, that's not my point. Whatever. As long as I can enjoy my meal without sugar. So good. The food was delicious. She was such a good chef. This is amazing, I said to her.
But it doesn't taste as good without sugar, right?
No, it tastes much better without sugar. She just stared at me for a while. Then...
Wait, you don't like sugar?
I better tell her the truth. It's not that, but the way you use it. It's too much. You're an amazing chef, but you ruin it with all that sugar. I just want to enjoy a normal meal, that's all.
What? Why didn't you say anything then?
I did! I told you 1,000 times! We got into a fight after that. She didn't speak to me for the rest of the day. The next day, I better have a talk with her once I get home. If she does this again, maybe I should take a picture of it and send it to her parents. If she won't listen to me, maybe her parents can help. Then, a few hours later...
Dinner's ready!
I looked over the table. It still had sugar on it, but not as much as before. That's better, but still, that's not my point. I don't want sugar on my food, period. I made it pretty clear that I didn't want sugar on my food anymore. I told you to stop putting so much sugar on the food.
I used less though. See? You'll get used to it, I promise.
What on the earth is she talking about? She just doesn't get it. Why is she doing this to me? Look, I'm going to tell you again. I don't want all this sugar on my food, okay? I told you this yesterday, and every time I tell you this, you end up crying. And eating all this sugar can't be healthy for you. So please. I tried to be as calm as possible. After I was done, she said to me,
So, you want me to stop using sugar because it's unhealthy?
Yes, but not only that, it just doesn't taste good. I don't want to eat sugar crystals for dinner. But then, she started crying again.
You don't like it? But I was doing this for you. I just wanted to put a smile on your face.
Then stop using so much sugar!
But that's exactly why I'm doing this.
She snapped at me. There was just no talking to her. I give up. I'm gonna go to the bathroom. Then, I called her parents. So yeah, over the past 8 months, she's been putting a lot of sugar in everything, and I tried talking to her, but she's really upset now. Will you come over and talk to her? Arena was screaming outside the bathroom door. Her parents said to me,
We're on our way.
Phew. 20 minutes later, they arrived at the house. The sugar was starting to melt a bit, but it was still there. Take a look.
What is this?
What the?
I showed them some pictures as well. They were both stunned. I'm so sorry about all this. They apologized to me, but then
Why are you apologizing to him?
my wife snapped.
Why are you doing this to him? He said he doesn't like it. Look at him. He's all skinny now. Apologize to him right now.
Her dad told her to apologize.
Sorry.
I don't think she meant it though. Her mother didn't know what to do. I told her to stop many times, but there was just no talking to her. I think I need to be alone for a while.
I understand. We'll look after our daughter in the meantime.
Thank you.
What? But she said she was sorry. You're not moving out or anything, are you?
Just give him some space. We're gonna talk to our daughter too. Let me know once you've figured out what you want to do.
Then, on their way out,
I'm so sorry for everything. It must have been tough for you, having to eat that every night.
then he handed me $200 and said,
Here, eat something good with this.
Thank you. So they took my wife with them. It was such a relief, but there's just no talking to her. How am I going to make this work? About a week later, my father-in-law called me.
I asked her to cook for us the other night, and I was shocked. I don't understand how she can eat this, but she genuinely thinks that it's good. I don't get it.
Yeah, I could barely eat at home over the past 8 months.
So sorry to hear that. When I saw you, I was surprised to see how skinny you were.
Well, at least her father was normal. The thing is, I really have a hard time talking to her. It's like she doesn't understand what I'm saying to her, you know? I just don't know what to do.
Come over to our house when you can. Let's all have a talk.
So, that weekend, I went over to their house to have a talk. I thought long and hard about this. I want a divorce.
What? Because you don't like my food? You can't divorce me over that.
Shut up and listen to him.
Wait. You're cheating on me, aren't you?
Be quiet! Stop interrupting him! He could barely eat anything at home over the past 8 months! And that's all your fault! You get that?
Her father was furious. Arena and her mother started crying.
Why?
Look, it's not just about the sugar. I don't know how to say this, but I just can't talk to you anymore. It's like we speak a different language or something. Sorry. Here are the divorce papers. I'll convince my daughter to sign them. I handed her father the divorce papers. A few days later, he sent it back to me with her signature. Finally, I went to the city office and submitted the papers right away. I called her father to let him know that it was done. Let me pay for your damages. No, it's okay. It was only 8 months and you really helped me out, so... After the divorce, I went back to live with my parents for a while. It was so nice to be able to enjoy a decent meal without sugar crystals.
My name is Aska. I live with my husband, Ryota. We also live nearby my mother-in-law's house. My husband's brother, Nashio, and his wife, along with their 6-month-old son, live there as well. But this wife, technically my sister-in-law, is a little strange. My husband is the second of 3 siblings, and he has another sister younger than him, Kotomi. For some reason, Nashio's wife looked down on Kotomi. A woman who doesn't give birth is losing. Kotomi being single is such a shame to the family. She would often make remarks about Kotomi for being single. Kotomi is a career-oriented woman, so she's really busy. She hasn't been able to find anyone yet, but I'm sure she will soon, considering how pretty she is. I'm sorry for my rudeness, but Nashio's wife is honestly ugly on the inside, more than the outside. Her personality definitely shows up on her face. I can't believe how obviously bitchy she is. I'm going to always try to be smiling. She's always just relaxing around the house, but complains about Kotomi and I. Nashio, being a quiet man, never says anything back to her either. It was always awkward at my mother-in-law's house. Nashio's wife really can't do anything around the house. Every time their child cries, she does nothing. Nashio talks to her, but she doesn't listen. I don't know how they're going to make it. A 6-month-old child is nothing but adorable. Nashio's at fault too, for not saying anything. Nashio's wife was causing a lot of stress when we suddenly caught wind of great news. Kotomi-chan is getting married? Congratulations! Thank you, Asuka. The man was a blonde elite worker, and he looked straight out of a fairy tale. But she's so old that she should probably just give up on a child, huh? You're just some Japanese girl. I'm sure he's just gonna dump you. Nashio's wife kept talking trash, and the other day that we had all decided to meet her fiancé, we were all blown away by how nice he was. I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick. When I got up to go to the bathroom, Nashio's wife followed me for some reason. She was excited, so I was worried about what she would say when that man is totally going for me. It's a little scary. I don't know what to do. He's always looking at me and only me. Weird, so I don't know. Now I'm worried. She seriously seemed like she was so concerned. What? My eyeballs literally popped out of their sockets, and as soon as I was able to collect myself, no, that's totally not happening. Seriously, never. That's scary. I corrected her as much as I could. People who aren't attractive don't know the delicate tangle of romance like I do. I don't know how to break it to you, but I'm 10,000% sure that Kotomi is way more popular than you. After returning to our seats, Kotomi-chan just kept ignoring people talking to her, and the mood was just terrible. Is she the heroine of some manga or something? A few days later, I was visiting my mother-in-law's house when I noticed that Kotomi was over as well. Apparently, Nashio's wife had asked my mother-in-law to take care of the child while she went out. Asuka-san, please listen to me. Nashio's wife just keeps asking my mom for my fiancé's contact info. What? That's terrifying. maybe she wasn't joking about the thing she said in the bathroom at the restaurant. Huh? What did she say? She said that your fiancé kept looking at her and was totally going for her. I thought it was so outrageous that she was just joking. What is that lady thinking? She should take care of her child if she has time to make jokes like that. I do the chores all the time too. I'm so worried for my grandchild, so I can't just tell her to get out. You or Nashio are really the only ones I've seen taking care of her. I'm sure she wants to just ruin my engagement. If I get married, she can't stay on her high horse anymore. I could see her trying. Do not tell them my contact info. I won't. Can we not do anything about this? I can't really say anything about my son's marriage life, but... While we were talking, a cranky-looking Nashio's wife came home and... Where were you? Your child is still so young. What? You just trying to bully your son's wife? Had zero intention of listening to anything my mother-in-law had to say. And then she started bullying Kotomi as usual. Kotomi-san, you're only going to have relatives at your wedding, right? Yes. As Kotomi answered, she picked up the sleeping child and... I'm going to pay a lot of money for your wedding, sweetie. A woman needs to have a dream-like wedding. That's her goal in life. You can't have some poor wedding where you only invite relatives. It's proof you're not even loved. Kotomi-san and Asuka-san are both losers. She kicked things off with a bang. The baby was starting to cry because she was just picked up while napping, and honestly, I felt like I needed to set things straight with this person, so... You know, Kotomi and I both did a relative-only wedding, but last I recall, when you invited your friends, you didn't have any actually show up, did you? What? You were all shut in and only working, so as a result, only your family showed up, right? You're just the second son's wife. Shut up. I was at the wedding with my fiancé at the time, but man, we were so worried for you. Shut up. If your daughter is going to have a great wedding, I would hope that she has a lot of friends that come and is a kind person so that she actually has friends that show up. I don't like female groups that are all slimy. Boys are easier to talk to. Because I'm more manly. Really, you don't have to go that far. If you just act normal, you can make friends. What? My logic is too sophisticated for you peasants. My mother-in-law and Kotomi, who were holding back their laughter, couldn't hold it back anymore and burst out laughing. Logic? Too sophisticated. Nashio's wife got mad and left the child to run upstairs. But then Kotomi-chan's phone rang. What? You're kidding, right? Apparently, Kotomi's fiancé had called and said that Nashio's wife, who was out, was at her fiancé's workplace. She said that if he were to break off the engagement with me, then she would be willing to get a divorce and handle him. He said no, obviously. She was serious. I'm going to call Nashio's wife. Nashio's wife came downstairs looking very unhappy. Did you go to Kotomi's fiancé's work? None of your business. And I'm going to get a divorce with my husband. She apparently thought that her husband, after comparing him to Kotomi's fiancé, was too bland. How rude. There must be a better person for me. So if Kotomi can score a man like that, I should be able to score someone even better. My mother-in-law and Kotomi both were at a loss for words. That night, we all gathered to talk about things, and Kotomi's fiancé also showed up. Nashio had heard about what happened from Kotomi-chan and her fiancé, so he looked pretty scary. We're done, okay? She must have thought that he was just going to fold like usual, but...
Hell yeah, we're done! I'm the one that wants to dump your ass! You think you're so tough because people are holding back! You call your parents and get them down here now!
What the hell? He had enough of it.
You don't do anything around the house and let Mom take care of everything. You don't take care of our daughter. You sleep when I leave for work. I come home and you're playing games rolling around, and now you think there's a better man? I'm done.
He called our parents up immediately, and they hauled their butts over. They live an hour away by car, by the way. They were both very apologetic about everything after hearing what had happened. We'll take her home. We're so sorry.
About the child.
I don't want it. I can't get remarried with that thing around. Her father slapped her flat across the face when she said that. We'll take her in. She's our adorable grandchild. No one was against the divorce, so everything went very smoothly. Her parents paid Nashio quite a bit of child support and compensation for damages, and the divorce was completed quickly. Afterwards, Kotomi-chan's wedding was a success, and Nashio was able to spend more time with his kid and other things while supporting his mom around the house.
I'm her father. I can't show my weakness around her.
3 years later, Nashio's ex-wife is 40 and lives alone with her parents. Since she needed to pay her parents back for the money they spent paying off child support and damages, she works part-time at the store during the day and at a janitorial service at night. The other day, Nashio received a letter asking to get back together, but...
I'd rather stay single for the rest of my life than try and get back with that thing.
He's ignoring her, apparently.
I'm Fubuki. I'm a 28-year-old businessman. This is my wife, Elisa. She was 3 years younger than me. And that's Masuki, my son. He's turning 1 in a few months. But one day, when I came home, I caught my wife cheating on me with my best friend. Wow. Just wow. They didn't hear me come in, so I snuck out the back. What now? And the thing is, tomorrow he was getting married. And I snuck around the back to surprise my wife, but... man, I didn't see this coming. Maybe I should take a picture as proof. I don't really want to, but... So I opened the front door, walked in, and took a picture with my phone. They froze up.
I can explain!
Fubuki, it's not what it looks like.
I had nothing to say to them. So I got my son and left the house. That piece of shit. I was so upset. He even asked me to give a speech at his wedding. I practiced it for weeks. I feel like such an idiot. Damn it. And my wife was 4 months pregnant. She said she couldn't do the housework due to the morning sickness, but she looked pretty okay to me. What am I gonna say at his wedding? I couldn't take my son back to the office, so I dropped him off at my parents' house and asked Mom and my sister Asuka to look after him for a bit. Sorry, can you watch him until I get off work?
Hey, Mutsuki. Of course. What are you doing here?
Something came up. Look, if my wife comes here, don't hand him over. Then I went back to work. I could barely focus that day. I started to think about what to say in my speech tomorrow. If I embarrass him in front of everyone, can he sue me for defamation and stuff? After work, I went back to my parents' house to pick up my son. I had dozens of missed calls and texts from my wife, but I ignored them. I'm home! As I walked in, my sister came running towards me.
Hey, Elisa, she's here. She's crying.
Huh? Ugh. Tell her to leave.
She won't tell me anything.
No surprises there. I went into the living room. I didn't even look at my wife.
Fubuki, listen to me!
Hey, Masuki, you missed me? You have fun with Grandma? Come here.
Fubuki, hear me out!
I'm going to go home once to get my tuxedo for tomorrow, but I'm spending the night here tonight. Get the hell out of here, now.
Listen!
I thought you were down with morning sickness. You looked pretty fine to me. I went back home to get my tuxedo. Alyssa followed me there.
Fubuki, please listen to me. Talk to me!
About what? Divorce? Just leave. You're going to the wedding tomorrow, right? You want to talk to me? Do it there. Oh, and needless to say, I'm taking Masuki. Then I walked out and headed back to my parents' house. The next day. All right, I'm off. I'll be back in a few hours.
Fubuki, what happened?
It's a long story. When I got there, Alyssa was already there. She kept looking over at me. Alyssa and my best friend. They called me dozens of times last night, but I ignored all their calls.
Next up, a word from the groom's best friend.
I got up there and read my original speech. My friend looked really nervous. His wife seemed really touched. He looked like he was about to throw up. Anyways, congratulations. I wish you guys all the best. When I said that, my friend seemed really relieved. Oh, and one last thing. I always thought you were my best friend, man, but I was wrong. You see, yesterday I saw something shocking. I even got pictures to prove it. Anyway, I gotta go. Goodbye. Then I walked back to my table. I was pretty upset. I really thought he was my friend, so I felt betrayed. The other guests seemed confused. I grabbed my son and got ready to leave. But then,
Excuse me,
the bride's brother came running up to me.
what was that about?
Then, his parents came over.
Yeah, tell us what happened.
So, I told them what happened. I sent the picture to the bride's brother. Then I walked out of there. I wanted to expose them in front of everyone, but I was afraid he might sue me for defamation if I did that, so I decided to only tell his family. When I got back home, I told my family about what happened and that I was going to divorce her. She slept with my best friend, so I'm gonna stay here until the divorce is finalized.
We should talk to her parents. She's pregnant, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. A few days later, her parents came over to the house. They just kept apologizing to us. I'm gonna divorce her once I find out who the father is. Until then, I want her out of the house. Then, a few months later, the divorce was finalized. Phew. A few days ago, Alyssa gave birth. The baby was mine. Thank goodness. So I took custody of the kids and divorced her.
You can have the kids.
She didn't even put up a fight to get the kids. That was a relief. In the divorce proceedings, I sued her for damages. The courts ordered her to pay me $50,000.
I can't pay that!
She agreed to pay me in installments. She started working as a hostess to pay me back. But then a few months later... Wow, she paid me in full? Maybe she got remarried or something. One day she paid me in full out of nowhere. Turns out she started seeing this older guy. He was a CEO or something. He was in his 60s. When she came over to see the kids the other day...
I had no choice! It was gonna take me years to pay that off!
Okay. Whatever. Good luck to you.
Screw you!
She was really pissed at me for some reason. Oh well. Oh, and as for my best friend,
We dated for 10 years. How can you do this to me?
His fiancée sued him for $100,000. I also sued him for $25,000. He was screwed.
I can't pay that.
And many of his colleagues were at the wedding. After the incident, things got really awkward for him. He ended up quitting his job.
You're a horrible person. Burn in hell.
And his fiancée's brother tore him apart. He was up to his neck in debt now. And he lost all his friends.
What's wrong with you? You make me sick. Don't ever call me again.
He was all alone now. He had nothing. He tried to get back with Alyssa, but
You ruined everything! This is your fault! Get out of my face!
he went back to live with his parents after that. Raising 2 kids on my own wasn't going to be easy, but my family helped me out every step of the way. I think I'm gonna take a break from women for a while. Anyways, glad everything worked out.
I'm Kotomi. When I was in college, I worked at this bar. I was a hostess there. Hello, I'm Kotomi.
You're pretty.
Thanks. And one of my customers started hitting on me. His name was Koji.
You're the one for me. I just know it. Please go out with me.
He was really into me. I said no at first, but he was very persistent. So I finally cracked and decided to give him a chance.
Alright, I'll go out with you.
He must love me very much. I've had 2 boyfriends before him, but they were both the quiet type, so I wanted to see what it was like going out with an outgoing guy like Koji. When I started dating him, I quit my job at the bar. It's the right thing to do. But then, a few months later, he started to lose interest in me. What is he up to? He was up to something. He stopped seeing me on weekends, making all kinds of excuses.
Sorry, something came up at work.
He ditched me at the last minute, countless times. Fine. Bye. And this one time, I saw his phone screen. He was sending heart emojis to someone. I knew it. He's cheating on me. Then, Koji got transferred abroad for work. We barely kept in touch after that. I hate leaving things unfinished like this. I gotta talk to him. A few months later, he came back to the country for a few weeks. So, I met up with him. It's time to put an end to this once and for all. Turns out he wanted to break up too. So, that was that, but he was a real jerk about it.
Look, you're just the random girl I met at a bar. You're just not for me, you know? We live in different worlds. Going abroad opened my eyes, you know? I'm just too good for you.
He wasn't even there for a year. He was so full of himself.
What? Did you really think I was serious about you? Yeah, right.
He's the one that hit on me. I wanted to say something, but I just want him out of my life. Just let it go. I decided to keep quiet. Fine, whatever. Goodbye. But then, 3 years later, I started working at my father's company after college. One day, my dad took me to this party and I ran into Koji. No way. Looks like the company he worked for did business with my father's company or something. I had no idea. His company's CEO was a very nice guy. He knew me since I was a little kid.
Hey, Kotomi. It's so good to see you.
Hey there. Pleasure is all mine.
Wow, she's pretty. Yeah, I hear she's brilliant.
What the? No way!
Koji seemed really surprised to see me. And the fact that his boss knew me made it even more uncomfortable for him. Ha ha ha, take that. It was kind of funny. But then, after having a few drinks, Koji said to me,
You used to work at a bar. You were a hostess. You thought I forgot? I bet your dad doesn't know about that. You're such a terrible daughter. Did you know about this, sir?
he was starting to get drunk. What an idiot. I didn't really care, but everyone else there started to panic. He was right. I used to work as a hostess. Back in college, I worked at a bar, but I also worked at a convenience store, a restaurant, a desk job at an office, and more. I wanted to try all kinds of jobs that were out there. I wanted the experience, and I learned a lot in the process. Actually, my dad was the one that told me to try all kinds of things. He wanted me to see the world. He didn't want me growing up as the spoiled daughter of a CEO. So he told me to go out there and see the world. And I learned a lot. It's all thanks to my father. Koji's company's CEO started flipping out.
What the hell is wrong with you? How dare you talk to her like that? Apologize to her right now, idiot. I'm terribly sorry, sir. He's just an idiot. Please forgive him.
Then he apologized to my father.
It's okay, really.
My dad didn't really seem to care, but Koji, his face was all blue now.
I'm so sorry, sir. Please forgive me.
Him and his boss got down on the floor and apologized to my father over and over again. I kind of feel bad for his boss, though. He didn't do anything. I didn't want to ruin the party, so I said to them, "Look, it's fine. Really. We just live in different worlds. That's all, so don't worry about it," I said to him. Koji was speechless. It was kind of funny, so I went next to him and whispered into his ear, "We live in different worlds, right?" Take that.
I'm sorry.
Koji apologized to me one last time. Sounded like he meant it. But then, a few days later, I heard that he got a demotion. He got transferred to some dead-end position in the middle of nowhere. I kind of felt bad for him, but oh well. Sucks for him. Then, he started texting me. Non-stop.
I'm sorry about everything. I was wrong to let you go. Please marry me.
Seriously.
You're the one for me. Please.
Give me a break. Not sure if he was serious or not, but I was over him. And his boss told me that he wasn't coming back for a while, so I said no and blocked him. Don't text me again. If you do, I'll tell my dad. I never heard from Koji after that. Glad he's out of my life. 2 years later, I met my husband and had 2 beautiful children. Glad everything worked out. I'm Aska. This is Ryota, my husband. We didn't have kids yet. I worked at a hair salon. So, what did you have in mind? This is Kotomi, Ryota's sister. She got a divorce about a year ago. She was a single mother raising 2 children. She lived nearby, so she came over to our house every now and then. But her ex-husband, He was such a jerk. He hasn't paid you a single dime, right?
Yeah, he promised me he'd pay me $500 a month for child support, but...
The judge ruled in Kotomi's favor. It was a done deal, but...
I don't have the money.
His name was Takashi. He refused to pay her. He was the one that cheated on Kotomi in the first place, but...
I'm a freelancer. I'm poor. I can't pay for damages.
And his parents were poor too. So Kotomi didn't sue him for damages. It was just too much work. You should have sued him for damages. He's screwing you.
Yeah.
What's done is done, but I wish there was something I could do to help. Her parents were really upset about this too. Anyways, I was a pretty famous hairstylist. This one time, I came in first place in a competition. A few months ago, I got this offer from this magazine. But then, at one of their meetings, I ran into Takashi, Kotomi's ex-husband. Is that him? What is he wearing? That looks really expensive. But I thought he didn't have any money to pay for child support. He was a designer or something. What are the odds, huh? This is bad. Then, it was time to introduce ourselves. Takashi noticed me. He started glaring at me. What's he looking at me for?
Keep your mouth shut.
He was like this throughout the entire meeting. He was such a jerk. What's his problem? But then, after the meeting...
Hey, keep your mouth shut about the divorce, okay? Try anteing and I'll sue you for defamation.
What? You got something to hide?
Just shut up. If you mess with me, you're gonna regret it.
Then he left before I could say anything. Luckily, it was a big project and I didn't have to see him that often. So that was a relief. But then, just as the project was coming to an end, there was this middle-aged lady on the team. She heard about me and Takashi from someone. Then... Hey, Asuka. You know Takashi, right? What's he like, huh? Tell me. Huh? He's been hitting on the girls here non-stop. I'm just a bit worried about him, that's all. Takashi wasn't there. But there were others there, listening to our conversation. And one of the guys there was Takashi's mentor. They were all waiting for my response. He's my husband's sister's ex-husband. This was work, and I didn't want any trouble with him. So I kept my response to a bare minimum. But then, one of them asked me... He's always wearing designer clothes and stuff. Is he rich? Is he paying child support? He had 2 kids, right? I wanted to tell them everything, but I didn't want any trouble. But he wasn't paying child support, so... I just let out a big sigh. I didn't say anything, but I think they got the message. Then the meeting was over. The project was over. Then, about a month later...
Asuka, listen.
One Friday evening, my sister-in-law came over to my house with her kids. What's the matter?
The child support money? He paid me all of it. He even gave me an extra 20 grand.
What? Then her phone rang. It was from Takashi's mother. Takashi's parents weren't very wealthy, but they were decent people. They felt really bad about the divorce.
Hey.
Hello. I just heard from his friends. This whole time, Takashi wasn't paying for child support. I had no idea. I'm so sorry, dear.
Oh, so that's why.
I'm so sorry, dear. Takashi took out a loan and paid her in full. I wasn't expecting that. Turns out his colleagues and friends found out about what he did. Then...
You should be ashamed of yourself. You're the one that cheated on her, right? What's wrong with you? If you got money to buy designer clothes, pay them. You're a horrible person. Shame on you. You better make this right. Otherwise, I'm done doing business with you.
They tore him apart. He had no choice but to pay up.
I'll pay her! I'll pay her right now!
So, he headed to an ATM and paid her in full.
Damn it!
You met him at work, right? Did you say something to him?
Kind of. Well, not really. I wanted to, but... A few weeks later, I ran into one of his friends through work. He told me that he cut all ties with him anyways.
I heard he paid up, but it doesn't matter. After what he did, I don't want to do business with him. I don't trust him anymore.
Good call.
He had to get a second job to pay for his debt now.
And even though he was always wearing designer clothes and stuff, he wasn't rich at all. He was just a show-off. He was just leeching off his girlfriend. But when she found out about what he did, she left him. He lost all his friends. Everyone started avoiding him. He was screwed. He lost everything he had. And all his business partners left him as well. He was barely making ends meet now. Sucks for him, but oh well. Well, glad everything worked out.
Yeah, thanks, Asuka.
My name is Yamato. I'm an office employee. I've always been a calm person and hate arguments, but ever since I was a child, I've had a pet peeve. That's the type of person who tries to steal someone's happiness. I'm done. I'm breaking up with her. I want you to hear me out first. I have a girlfriend named Alina that I met in the office, but...
Oh, can I have some?
Every time we eat together, she tries to take what I'm having. Both of us live with our parents, so we often go to restaurants and whatnot during dates, but when I order something, she'll only order a salad. Is that enough? You always want more, so you should order real food.
It'll be enough.
But when our food shows up, she tries to eat my food. I said order your own food!
What? I can't finish a whole meal, so it's a waste of food.
But you said a salad isn't enough, right?
I'll eat a little of yours, and that's enough for me.
Then order something that doesn't have so much on it and leave it if you can't finish it, I said, thinking that was common sense.
How can you suggest something so rude?
She screamed at me. I mean, yeah, you should finish your food, but to me, it's more rude to constantly steal other people's food. She says she's really only taking a bite, but she actually takes quite a bit of food off my plate. You've been taking quite a bit off my plate every time, too, so I don't think you'll leave any behind.
What is that? Don't act like I'm being cheap. I don't eat much.
I'm skinny, but I eat quite a bit. Honestly, one serving is often not enough for me. So it's pretty rough when people take my food. When we both go to eat together, I often have to eat more once I get home.
Huh? You're eating more.
Oh yeah, it wasn't enough. It's not just when we go out to eat either. When we go to watch movies and I buy a Coke.
I'm good. I don't want any.
But then she steals my Coke during the movie and I have none left to drink.
It's empty.
If you're gonna drink some, buy your own.
I can't finish it, so I just want to ask for a little.
The second I complain about it, she always says,
You're so stingy. You should be a man about it.
It's not about the money, you know? Even when we go to McDonald's, she only orders apple pie and hash browns. Otherwise, she drinks my Coke or my hamburger. Seriously, cut it out! It's really stressing me out.
Come on, it's just a bite. Cheapo.
This had been continuing for the 3 months I had been dating her. She's starting to look like a fly to me recently. I can't do this anymore. I'm gonna have to break up. Honestly, I can't date a girlfriend who's doubling up like a fly. So, I suggested breaking up with her. Let's break up.
Why? I don't get it. Did I do something?
She really didn't know that I didn't like this? I was surprised by her response as well. I told you, I can't really deal with people who steal my food.
What? You're seriously going to break up with me over that? You're so uptight. How do you call yourself a man?
I don't really care what you think, to be honest. I just can't handle it, so let's break up. She started talking crap about me as a man, but I was able to break up with her. I'm sure she's gonna run around telling people about how terrible I am to the guys at work, but honestly, I'm just glad we were able to break up. Just like I imagined, Alina was walking around telling all her co-workers about how I was the worst person imaginable, and that she dumped me.
She's talking mad shit about you, dude. Are you okay with it?
Honestly, I don't care. I'm sure the truth will show up eventually on its own. I'm just gonna leave it alone. 2 days later, I went to a nearby restaurant for lunch with a coworker that I was good friends with.
I'm gonna have the seasonal meal.
I'm gonna get the shrimp fry and hamburger. Ugh, it's Alina.
You don't regret breaking up with him? Not at all. He was honestly just too stingy and cheap for me. So yeah, the smallest things bothered him. What? He seemed pretty calm to me. I thought he'd make a great husband. Nope, he's definitely easily annoyed. He was always so kind when we were working together, and I've never seen him angry. He's just putting up an act in the office. Anyway, he's not marriage material. Did I mention he's stingy?
Trust me. You're not marriage material either. Alina was talking crap about me like that as if she was the one who dumped me.
Are you sure you're just gonna let it go? She's saying you're putting up an act.
I don't care. I'm just happy I can eat my own meal in peace. However, the mood changed when their food started getting delivered to the table.
Oh my gosh, I said don't take my food. Stop it. What? Why? Stop being so stingy. You're the cheap one. Come on, just a bite. Order your own food. If you're just gonna eat a mini salad, go to the convenience store and eat on your own in the office. Why did you come with us?
She was doing the same thing to her coworkers that she did to me. Honestly, I couldn't help but agree with the coworkers quietly. Right? That's what I'm saying. It's normal to not want people to take your food. It's not just me.
It's not good when you eat alone, cheapo. Okay, then are you gonna pay for the amount that you ate? Stop being stingy. That's why you don't have a boyfriend. What? I don't mind being stingy then. You know what you're called to between all the other girls around the office? The witch of give me one bite. What?
Oh my Jesus, yes. 100 times yes.
Yeah, I don't have a boyfriend, but you don't have one either. You kept talking crap about Yamato-kun, but honestly, I can't believe it, and I think he dumped you. You must have kept pestering him for food, huh? What the hell? Alina, you might think that you don't eat much, but you eat a lot. You should come to terms with it.
She was getting told off, and honestly, I couldn't help but laugh. And then my coworker started laughing out loud, and he just couldn't hold back.
Witch!
Hey! You're being too loud! my coworker was heard by Elena, and she looked over here. In that moment, we locked eyes.
What the hell?
She must have been really pissed. She was trying to leave the store, her face a bright red.
Alina, you better take your bill. You're not trying to get us to pay for you, are you?
Her friend stopped her and called her back. She stormed to get the bill and stormed out the store. After I finished lunch, I saw Elena eating a fried chicken bento box that she must have bought from the convenience store and a bottle of Coke.
I mean, if she didn't eat much, she'd be skinnier.
Huh? Oh, yeah. She actually ate a lot to begin with. I didn't even consider that. I thought she was just someone who ate small portions and only wanted to take other people's food when it was around. I didn't even notice, but she was eating pretty large portions now that I think about it. What a productive lunch break, huh? It all makes sense now. She would often be seen eating convenience store food in the office alone.
Thank you for watching all the way till the end. Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. See you next time.